The final match is about to commence here. There's only one spot left in the round of 8. Will it be Flash or will it be Maru? It's going to be a tough call. Flash, as you said, Artos, is the most winningest Starcraft 1 player of all time. Against Maru, who was just recently the champion of the Star League Season 2.
Yeah, this is big here, Tasteless. Of course, Maru wants to get more than WCS points, as does Flash. Flash is nowhere near where he needs to be to make it to BlizzCon. Maru, on the other hand, has a little bit of a head start on him there.
Yeah.
They both basically need to get through here.
You know, this is a very important tournament for this time of the year. There's not really anything left in Korea after this.
After this, there's only IM New York.
Yep. So, I mean, both these guys want to keep the ball rolling. To not stop, to not give up.
To never surrender.
Yeah. To never die. The map's going to be Polar Knight, TVT here. Now, Maru beat Innovation 4-0 at TVT with some very crafty play. But Flash, you know, TVT and Starcraft 2, there's a lot of similarities from it in Starcraft 1, so you got to think a lot of his skills in Starcraft 1 transfer over very easily. It looks like we're going to have this game commence now here, the final match here in the GSL Codex. In the south, in the red, we have
KT Roaster Flash.
Well, actually, hold that thought. Hold into our next player, and then I'll start talking about this. Over here in the north, in the yellow, he is
Maru Prime.
Now with Flash being... gotta get that out of his eye. I hope his eye's all right.
What's with all these people that don't touch the keyboard?
Yeah.
If you have a scratch, that's the time, Tasteless.
Now, TVT was all about positioning in StarCraft 1, and a lot of that, there's a little bit more finesse here in StarCraft 2, but it's all positioning war.
It is.
Trying to catch those siege tanks when they're not in siege mode. Do you think there's a chance here that Maru's going to try to end this very quickly? Or is he going to go for the late game? Because that's how he beat Innovation, and I don't blame the guy at all. I would not want to play a long game against Innovation.
No, he's gonna play pretty aggressive overall. I think that it's... Aww.
Love you. Those are our nerds down there.
Those are our nerds. Here to watch some GSL.
Dude, we got the first SCV getting sent out here.
You know, I think what we're going to see here, Tasteless, here now from Flash, we can already see with his gas time, this should be a command center into a factory. For Maru, he's gotten the very fast gas. And we've seen some pretty aggressive builds from him with this, like Banshee into the one base timing on Newkirk, I believe it was, against Innovation. Of course, we saw from Jokji, he was finishing off Innovation on 2 bases. Like, whether Maru goes to a second base or not, I think he's gonna be attacking a lot.
Yeah.
That's really what he's shown strength-wise.
And, well, we're going to have a slight bit of downtime here until we just see what the techs are. So, Artosis, we have a few days off after this.
Do we? We have 2 days, yeah. Monday and Tuesday, I guess.
That counts as a few. 2 can be a few. So
a few, I thought, was always 3 or more.
Was it? Are you sure?
A couple is 2. A few is 3.
Ah.
So we have a couple of days.
What are you going to do? Just play StarCraft 2?
To be
I've
frank,
been playing a lot of Hearthstone.
Yeah, and no, I'll probably play StarCraft 2 mostly. Play with the baby as well.
Let's have a Hearthstone battle.
Basically every day now, me and the baby go to the park, man. We go down slides. It's so fun.
How old's that baby now?
So like 1 year and 10 months.
10 months?
Or 1 year and 9.
No.
1 year and 8 months. 1 year and 8 months. 20 months. There you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Feels like that baby's year 1 birthday wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, it was 8 months ago.
I felt like it was actually like much closer. Like, by the way, we actually have a proxy starport here, so we're going to have Banshees. So we were right when we said that Maru's probably going to try to close this out early on.
Yeah, you could possibly grab a medevac as well, because this is a single gas, and he's made some Hellions. So, you know, a very quick drop can be nice, and he is in fact grabbing that medevac. For Flash, he's getting his own factory right now. Good defense on that first Hellion. Going to be able to repair this a little bit. Has to wait for these units to get down. We're going to hit there right around the same time as the medevac pops out.
Yep, really well timed out build.
Yeah, but Flash is making his own 2 Hellions right now, and he has a decent amount of Marines. The thing is, there's a medevac in there, so this can deal a lot of damage, especially since Flash is completely out of position right now. He is not set up in the right place.
And again, also the positioning of the Hellions when they start to deal damage, and the positioning of that army that's actually taking the damage.
Well, here we go. The 2 Hellions are out. He has SCVs as well. He has 2 additional Marines, but he does not have that medevac. And so far, he did a great job.
Nothing he could do there. He's got to back out. Then we have another medevac about to pop out.
Well,
and it looks like he might pick up again here.
It's... I really like what Flash is doing here, Tasteless. He's making non-stop Hellions and getting Viking. This is like exactly what he needs to do to make sure he takes no damage.
He's going to pick up again here.
Yeah,
he's going to get that nice line there.
Another drop coming out. That is pretty huge. Double medevacs healing so well at the moment. Even has an SCV in there getting healed. And 9 SCVs killed.
I loved that when he dropped there, he saw that the Marines were in a line, so he dropped in front of that line so that they could optimize the Hellion damage.
Yeah, this was a cool play, but we don't have another command center. This is just non-stop by Maru. He's just putting on this attack, this pressure. And, well, he's getting his own Viking, which I quite like. That's pretty cool.
Right, now the Hellion's coming down here. He's going to pick up. He can try to make a dash here into the main. Not really much defense here in the main.
No,
he couldn't have taken out these mules right here. That 1 Hellion will be taken out, now doing some more damage to the SCVs. Now the rest of this army is coming up here, but in a bit of a line. However, Flash has too much and then drives out those medevacs.
Maru, oh god, I think okay, Flash is making a Viking right now. I actually made a mistake earlier. That was, I guess, Maru's Viking that was made?
Yeah.
I'm confused because I thought I saw one building for Flash earlier. Anyways, Viking versus Viking. Oh, he gets the first shot, so that plus any repairing that he does, he wins that air war, and he's going to be able to push everything out basically now. So I feel like this attack it's run its course. What's the SCV count at right now? 20 to 28 was that?
I believe so.
It's, oh wait, no, never mind. It has it right here.
27 to 24.
Okay.
Or 20 to 29.
22 to 29.
Excuse me. Now
it's the W one.
With the starport coming out here, it's going to be a lot of medevacs that aren't made right now. And now the Hellions are coming in here. And this is going to be pretty bad here for Maru. If he wins this engagement, he could take out that SCV, but instead he's going to go up to the main. He gets it shut just in time.
Good thing there. But these have done some pretty decent damage overall. He definitely has some map control going on. His siege tank does pop out for Maru, so he's going to be able to take his natural. Siege tank can easily kill off all these Hellions.
And yeah, he'll have to just get out here now.
But he killed a good amount.
Yeah.
And even though he's behind in workers, he's catching up rather quickly.
No, this is going to be really good. Take out the starport.
Yeah.
This is going to be, if he can get rid of this thing, medevac's going to be so important. Yeah. He's going to land it now.
A good call.
Yeah. Well, the Vikings are just doing too much damage. But again, even landing this is the delay. More Hellions coming up here now.
Well, that's a lot of Hellions. He's going to be able to take out those Marines pretty easily. Actually lands his Vikings as well. The battle for the starport.
Yeah. Well, look, he's done a great job so far here. And the siege tank actually just not low enough.
Nope, it does live. The hero of that battle with 10 kills. Wow. Sergeant already.
I forgot they give those units ranks and stuff.
It's pretty funny.
Do they have that in Starcraft 1?
No.
I would never have even checked. They just had the kill count, right?
No, everything had something that was called like a Marine.
It was in Warcraft 3 where they gave it like a name, right?
I'm not sure.
Each hero had like a name, like Jubei.
Well, yeah, that was a name though. That wasn't a rank that changed.
No, of course, but I'm simply asking if they had the name.
Yeah, they did have names, yes. Certainly. Well, let's see here. Cloaked Banshees on the way for Flash. I tell you, I wish I had a preview monitor over here. I really want to check exactly what's being built in bases. Okay, there we go. Another factory's coming up as well. So it looks like Flash wants to go for mech. We already, of course, have Maru going into bio play. I don't think I've ever seen him go mech.
Now, Maru, again, continuously trying to end this game very, very early. Perhaps a big mistake now, as he is just denying constant flashes, anything that Maru is trying to do early on. Flash is getting a substantial lead here.
you know, he just keeps on killing off every little piece that comes over to harass him. But the worker count is something that we have to keep looking at because Maru's keeping his higher basically the entire game. Like, SCVs had to be pulled for that attack, so he lost some more, and suddenly Maru's ahead in that. But he's playing like kind of just a 2-base economy right now against a Flash that's getting ready, going into this mech. And now with this Banshee coming over, he's actually going to start to catch up economically as well.
All right, nice scan here. The Banshee will barely escape. Oh, what? Sick.
I don't even... Hail hit it or something?
I don't even understand that. I was actually quite confident in my prediction the Banshee would get out of there.
No, I thought he was out. That was weird. Time and space bent right there.
Yeah.
All right, so he gets out
this
here.
One will
Watch,
get
he
out.
explodes as soon as he leaves that yellow circle. I'm like, what is this a use map? Like, is this an arcade game? If you leave the scan circle, you die? All right, so he does get out again. Just some Banshee harassment going on. Now, Flash is going right into his mech play. How is Maru going to approach this? Like, does he throw down another command center? Does he just start to attack? You know, he's only got one siege tank, so it's not like he can go up and put on any sort of contain.
He lost too many siege tanks already.
Flash is already going to land his third. I'm pretty worried about Maru right now.
Well, there's really not anything that Maru can do if Flash plays a game with no more hiccups, you know? No more.
Well, he's going to have to catch him, like catch him unsieged, maybe get a couple good drops going.
Yeah.
You definitely need a huge turret ring on this map to prevent those drops.
Now, the Hellions can come out here and harass. We call this a mineral dump because you get most of what you want just costs gas here, so you end up with a bunch of extra Hellions. So that's why, oddly enough, in this situation, with Flash having this lead, he also gets map control with the Hellions.
So he's trying to bait a scan right now with this Banshee. Does run out of its energy and going to get out of there. Now Flash, he's mining from that third base. This is always a bad thing for the bio player. You want to try to be a base up. You're kind of like the Zerg player in a lot of ways.
Yeah, well said. Well, we have an army moving out, and it's here to secure the third base that Maru will finally end up getting. He'll park that. Oh, no, excuse me. He is actually going to push into this. Now, when a mech player has the lead in supply against a Bio-Terran,
it's pretty rough.
Yeah.
He definitely doesn't break that just on the ground, and there's enough Hellbats in there that dropping on top of it may not be the best either. He may go for like a little drop in the main base, or maybe just siege a side of it and sit behind the siege tank, but it's only one siege tank. It's not that big a deal.
Oh, he was not in siege mode here, but Hellbat drop now on top of that army. No way Maru can really do much to engage into that. He gets pushed back a little bit here. And, yeah, just able to hit the tip of that siege tank there. And now hitting his command center.
Well, that siege tank doesn't have that much health. Now, it looks like he wants to go for a drop, but there is already a turret ring up. Flash looking in a great spot. Now, he does do this drop, but he's going to lose his medevacs. He loses... Oh, he does get out with one. But that's not really the most scary force that's in his main base.
Well, now pushing back more of these medevacs here. Now, he does get this army over here in the main. They are pretty badly bruised. Only one medevac now, taking out many of the Hellions that are trying to engage in over here. He may try to pick up and leave. He does, leaving one Marauder behind.
Well, It's pretty even on SCVs. Maru is mining from his third. No real pressure on Maru right now. You know, in a perfect world, Flash might have been able to sneak out a medevac with Hellbats or something to try to do anything, but Maru's economy is really starting to kick in.
Yeah.
They've got the same number of workers. He's producing like a madman right now, really getting a lot of Marine Marauder.
Now making more barracks and expanding over here. It looks like he's primed up to possibly attack again in over here. Now, he wants to keep these Hellbats inside the medevacs, so when the Marine Marauder army stims and runs in, he dumps the Hellbats on top of that army, so they don't have to walk over there.
You know what? We don't have any siege tanks at all for Maru. I think this is one of the bigger issues. Okay, a big drop coming down on these siege tanks. He does drop his own Hellbats on it to try to help out, but a beautiful stim in from Maru. Starting to pick off the siege tanks. More coming down for Flash. Can Flash actually hold on here?
You know what? I think Maru might just barely have enough. Look at this GG.
Play.
Maru
Really?
Attempting to end it early on. Flash beats him back. Maru engineers a plan for success later on. I'm really impressed. And you know what it is? It's these Maru engagements. He's just good when it comes to getting that battle. I think Flash actually now coming out of the booth here, probably going to take a quick restroom break. I would not be surprised.
You know,
Flash is pretty pissed right now.
The non-stop pressure from Maru has done a really great job here. It keeps Flash back. He continued to reduce the amount of units that Flash had, because when you get down to really lower supplies, Marine Marauder Medevac outdoes everything in the whole game.
Well, the thing about a mech army, it's not that different from when Protoss has to have that perfectly balanced army in order to go into the end game. Mech, you have to have all the siege tanks there covered, positioned just right, Hellbats there to help cover them. And within those first few engagements, although Maru didn't win all of them, he did take out enough units that when that third base was up and running and the barracks explosion occurred, where he had a ton more Marines and Marauders and Medevacs, he was able to drop on top of those siege tanks, stem, and attack in. And it just was too much. When you lose that many siege tanks and you're meching as Terran, you aren't able to recover. He would have to stay on 2 bases, which would mean Maru would then get a 4th base and a 5th base up, and he would eventually be smothered.
You know, he was ultra decisive in that game, really going for the throw over and over and over. And when Flash deflected quite a few of them and had that third base up so quickly, it seemed like it wasn't going to work out. But that last scan there, seeing those siege tanks not having enough on top of them, the stim in with the huge Marauder arc, just really, really well done by Maru.
Yeah, Maru is kind of, for his age. Remember when Flash began to be number 1 in StarCraft 1? We're seeing it now with Maru here in StarCraft 2.
There's a lot of similarities.
Very young.
Just like
He's
Life
playing
and Jaedong.
Perfectly. Yeah.
Maru and Flash, there's like this certain amount where it's like, oh, your first victory, very young, and it had a lot of cheeses in it as a Terran player, and now you're starting to play some more, you're just kind of all over the place, doing all sorts of strats. It's kind of how Flash got his start.
And especially in Korea, in professional gaming, when you get somebody who's as young as Maru and doing this well, it's a big deal, because they actually, all able-bodied Korean men have to go into the military for 2 years at a certain age, which is usually when their pro gaming career ends.
Yes.
So,
no one has ever successfully come back from the army, and that was in StarCraft 1. StarCraft 2, actually, Boom Boom has done his army service, and he's a pretty successful pro gamer.
But case in point, Maru has many, many, many more years before he has to join the military, which means more time training, more time with StarCraft 2, potentially more championships.
Yeah, he could be a pro for the next 10 years, man.
Yeah, easily. All right, we're going to go into this match now, see if Flash, the StarCraft 1 legend, can turn this around, or if our young, deadly Maru will close this out.